month of May is underway, and so is today's edition of the Sportsline Podcast on the CHCH and Parrot Media platforms. I'm Bubba O'Neil. Well, when we began this podcast in January of 2024, the prime directive was to highlight the many outstanding athletes, coaches, executives, and teams that hail from the Golden Horseshoe. You know, never did I appreciate how many boxers are being produced out of Southern Ontario. Today, Hamiltonian Spencer Wilcox, he's putting the world on notice as a super lightweight. If the surname sounds familiar, you're bang on, as the fighting family includes older brothers Jesse, Stephen, Bradley, and Sheldon, who've all enjoyed success in the ring. Currently in that spotlight is the 25-year-old who recently improved his record to 11-0 and is coming off a winning performance at the WBC Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia. He's fighting for his name, family, city, and country. He is the infamous Spencer Wilcox, and we certainly appreciate you joining us. How are you, partner?
Doing really well. It's an honor to be on. Obviously, growing up, everyone watches the news and stuff, so it's really cool and surreal to be sitting here with you and now getting to share my thoughts and opinions and basically my journey. It's a really cool moment. Thank you for having me.
We are so interested in your journey because it's sort of already begun with so much left to go. And you know, obviously, let me just start to the present right now. And you've, had spent some training in Las Vegas, but you're recently back from Saudi Arabia. And give me the reason why you're wearing that beautiful gold medal there. Can you tell us about what was happening here at this WBC Grand Prix?
Yeah, so it's the first time it's happened in the professional boxing scene. We're on a prospect aspect. They had a tournament before for kind of guys that are on that higher stage, already known and stuff like that. So they're doing a tournament, 32 fighters each weight division with four weight classes, single elimination, just like the amateur days. You lose, you're out. There's basically no room for error, anything like that. And yeah, it was a great experience. I got no complaints. I'm happy. The only complaints I kind of actually wish a little bit about my fight. I think I could have done a few things better, but I'll always be hard on myself. I think that's why I strive to be better each time and always think I can do better. But, it was a really great experience, and I think it's something when my career is done I can look back at and say I'm glad I took that risk, because it is a risk. You know what I mean? You're going in there against relatively unknown guys on the, should I say, social media stage, if that makes sense. Everybody's got something to prove. The great thing about the tournament that was awesome to watch was everybody was hungry. There wasn't a single person there that was there to sit down, so to speak. So everybody was killers, and it's really nice to be a part of it and know I can win this tournament at the end of it.
So this is one win, which turns into another bout on the scale on the way up in this tournament?
Yeah, so it's basically a 2-month turnaround, so quick turnaround. So my next fight is supposed to be scheduled at the end of June. Exact dates, we're supposed to figure out everything by next week. And then it goes to August. And it just keeps going every 2 months, and it's supposed to finish in December. December, I'm pretty sure the final date's actually already decided, December 20th. So I'll get that nice big win at the tournament and then get to come home and enjoy some Christmas dinner, and well-earned Christmas dinner, and enjoy it with my family. That's the plan.
Well, and I would guess because so many of the boxers at this level in this tournament are guys that are premium up-and-comers like yourself right now, that watching tape of your opponents, it's got to be difficult. So I guess it's kind of one of those situations where you're really focusing on yourself and your skills.
Yes, exactly. So the first fight, the draw didn't happen so the fight was the 18th, and I think the draw was the 17th.
Whoa.
So yeah, but that's where I was brought up in a really strong amateur background, especially with my brothers and my father, who are very keen on, before going pro, you need to basically earn your stripes in the amateur circuit. And I think that really benefited me, because in the amateurs it's the same thing. You don't get to know your opponent right away. You just have to focus on yourself. And in a different way, it really motivated me and pumped me up. I can't really explain why. It just, during training, I kind of like that little bit of, I always say I'm a little bit of a thrill seeker. I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie. And it kind of gave me a little bit of a push, having that mystery. You know what I mean? It kind of felt like you're putting it all on red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. So I like that. Even when we were at the, right before we were figuring out the draw, was when we were walking down to weigh-ins, actually. And it felt like I had a fight coming up when I was coming down the elevator to walk to the weigh-ins to meet my coaches, because I didn't know who I was fighting. So everybody walking by you could be a future opponent. So you're grilling everybody. You're not shaking nobody's hand. You're kind of, so that kind of made it fun. You know what I mean? And you don't really get much fun aspects in professional boxing. So it was nice to take the moment and have fun with it, and kind of, I've always been a bit more of a serious fighter. So for me, even though when it looks like I'm being real serious, I enjoy that. So not knowing who the opponent was kind of an excitement. I don't think a lot of people would do it. So anybody in that tournament, I give a lot of credit to. Win, lose, or draw, I give a lot of credit to everybody in that tournament, because it's not an easy thing to do. A lot of these guys, if they don't have 2 months to prepare who they're fighting for, they won't do it, let alone you're fighting against some of the hungriest prospects in the world. So I take my hat off to everybody that signed up for that tournament, because it was a very risky thing to do, and it took some cojones to do it. And I'm very proud to be a part of it.
Well, the best part about all of it is that it continues for you.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at the beginning here. And in talking to one of my old colleagues, Steve Milton, and I know you had a conversation with him a couple of years ago, and this quote really, really got to me. You said, "I was born into this. There was no option for me." What does that mean for you? So,
yeah, when I met that, I was never forced. I got to put that out there. I was never forced into boxing. I think if I told my father right now, "Hey, Pops, I think I'm ready to move on in life," I don't think there'd be any hesitation. So I'm very grateful for that. But no option, when I say that term, I came out of that womb swinging. I had 5 older brothers, right? So I thought fighting was basically just like a everyday thing. Like, when it comes to, I thought every kid, I will never forget my first few weeks in kindergarten school, like in preschool. I was confused, because when I would end school, I remember I always had like a 30-minute gap where I could go play street hockey or something with my friends, and then we would go to the gym. I thought everybody did that. So it was really weird when I went to school, and I was a little bit of a rougher kid because I was the youngest boy. So obviously I had all the WWE moves done on me. So even I didn't have just my brothers in the at the house too. I had my brothers at the gym, like Josh O'Reilly, Kevin Higson, even guys like Brian Stevenson. So everyone was doing their WWE moves on me. So when I went to school, it was a real shock. I know my mom was nervous me going to school, because I thought everybody was a fighter, and I thought. So that's kind of what I mean by I had no option, in the terms of I was just born into a little bit more of a rougher upbringing, in the terms of me and my brothers and teammates at the gym, our way of showing each other we loved each other was by giving each other a cheap shot when you walk by. But I'm very grateful for it, and I realize in life and in the ring, it's given me a very, very big advantage having an upbringing like that. And boxing was always an option to do, but at the same time, it wasn't, because I fell in love with it so quick. And I knew right from the bat when I was a kid, this is what I want to do. And I saw local world champions like Steve Molitor, for example. Yes. And I said, you know what, like, I'll never forget. I still have it in my room hanging up. He signed a magazine for me. So that was the first world champion I ever met. And I remember there's a line at the Brampton Cup for kids to get a signature from him, and I was like, I want that. When I was getting the signature, I'll never forget. I literally said, "That's going to be me. Like, I want that." And so that's what I mean by no option. Was I just fell in love with it, right?
So you're a rebuff Catholic secondary high school kind of guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're so hometown. Like, you go to Mohawk College. Yeah. I don't think there's a boxing course in Mohawk College. No. Right? You're studying other things. I mean, where was it that, okay, because, I mean, you're obviously looking at what am I going to do with my life.
Yeah.
Was there some kind of aha moment that said, you know what, yes, boxing is the path I'm going to travel?
Yep. So I find there's two mindsets in boxing. There's the guys who strive on this is all I got. This is all my life depends on this, that. And then there's the guys who don't mind the setup plan for after. I was lucky where I grew up with watching my brothers, not only my brothers, but I got to grow up watching boxing in general. So I saw what happened to a lot of fighters that didn't have that other plan, so to speak. And I made a deal to myself and my mother that before I always treated boxing full time, but before I would pursue it full time, I would make sure I got a secondary education afterwards. So I finished my diploma in civil engineering technology at Mohawk College. And
did you fight anyone in class?
No. I actually believe it or not, I actually didn't like anybody in college knowing I was a fighter. I actually tried to hide it for a good year. I don't think any of my friends knew I was a fighter until one day I wore my own shirt, and that kind of gave it away. It was actually a little bit nice to have that second life, so to speak, because I knew the second I was done college, even though I was always took boxing 100%. I knew the second I was done college, it was going to get real. So I kind of didn't mind having that normal life when I went to the school, and then come back to the gym. Obviously, I'd be who I was, but I tried to hide it for a while. And there's the stigma behind boxing, right? People think you want to fight, but if you fought, nobody wants to fight outside. Real fighters don't want to fight. I don't want to fight outside of the ring. I don't even want people to think I'm this big, mean, tough fighter, so to speak. I kind of just want to go through and just be an average, especially now that I train in Vegas, and when I come home, I just want to be an average person. I don't really want to be looked at as this big mean guy. I'd rather just kind of go through, be normal.
Being yourself.
Yeah, be myself, right? Yeah.
I respect that. You talk about your brothers, and we can't have this conversation without talking about your brothers, and I'm sure each one of them had a different influence on you. But what we'll do here is, because all of them were successful in the ring, I'm going to, obviously, as you said, you've had your battles with each one of these guys. Tell me a little bit about each one, real short, and maybe what they were the best at, or what you had to beware of if one was a left hooker, or what was it, you know what I'm saying? So let's start off with Jesse.
Okay, that's a very, very good question. Never been asked that before. No one ever gets specific. Okay, so Jesse, to me, the struggle, he got these big, long, lanky arms. And growing up, those were the most annoying arms to deal with, because even now, they're so long, and he knows my tricks to get in on the inside. So that jab is just a menace to get around, and it hurts. My nose probably hates his jab the most. And then outside of the ring, he was always the rough. Even now, I think even though we're all getting a little bit older, I think me and him are kind of the last ones to rough house. So even now, we'll get a little bit heated. Me and him definitely have, I think, the tempers in the house when it comes to the macho-ness. Yeah. So we'll butt heads like that. But Jesse's like my best friend. The thing with him was that those long arms, I hated it. Those long arms are definitely, but it taught me a lot. No word of a lie, for this fight, when we were training, we didn't know who we were fighting. So we're sparring all these different styles. To this day, if I spar somebody tall, I actually say to myself, Jesse. I have little key notes in my head I say to myself when I'm sparring and fighting. I'll say, Jesse. Because then I know, okay, I got to switch my style. This guy's got long arms, and how did I deal with Jesse growing up, right? And so that's puzzle's still kind of not solved yet. Steven was very fast and slick, so he could get real frustrating. He taught me how to deal with the that pretty style, so to speak. He taught me how to deal with the guys that make you miss. They'll make you miss twice. They'll make you miss 3 times. You might even miss a 4th, and then you're going to get caught with a little shot. So that was real frustrating to grow up with. And then he started giving me the advice, start punching him in the chest, when he's doing all that. And that makes a big difference. Hold the shoulder when he's trying to move. So and outside of the ring, Steven basically was like a second father. He always looked after me. To this day, still, our connection is still I'm the younger brother, and even though we're older now, I'm the younger brother. He'll always look at me, I think, like that, and I'll always look at him as the older brother. But when it comes to the boxing, his His puzzle I had to deal with was definitely the slickness. So it was really difficult, especially if you're a little bit slower, and I got a little bit shorter arms, and when I was a little bit smaller than him, it was really hard to deal with his movement. Bradley hits really hard. Stubborn as a mule too, even in the ring. So Bradley actually taught me a lot, because there is a whole different science to hitting. When someone hits like that, it's a whole different world. You know what I mean? You can't slip up for a second. You see it all the time in boxing where somebody's winning a fight. And it actually just happened at the Grand Prix. This kid was boxing beautiful for 5 rounds, like really, really, really damaging the guy he was fighting. He slipped up for 20 seconds and he was out cold. So Bradley kind of taught me that growing up, where it was you had to stay focused for, if we were sparring the amateur days, for 3 rounds, I had to stay focused for all 9 minutes. And now that we spar the 6th, same thing. I have to spar focus for 6 rounds. And you have to, you learn the tricks to fight these hard hitters, right? There's certain things they don't like, and there's certain things that they do like, so you can't show them what they like. He taught me that for sure. Was definitely you don't want to get cracked by anyone that sparred him. You don't want to get hit by him too clean, because it don't feel too nice, and I don't think the legs like it too much.
Not when you're looking up too.
No, exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. So he really, without him knowing, I think he really distilled discipline in my sparring sessions with him, because you don't want to slip up, because it hurts.
It hurts. And I guess closest to in age, I guess Sheldon.
Yeah. So that's a perfect way to put what Sheldon taught me, was that age competitiveness. Do you know what I mean? There was nobody I was more competitive with. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to beat them all up growing up. It sucked. I couldn't do nothing. I was so much smaller than them. But Sheldon was that of age competitiveness. You know what I mean? He's 3 years older than me. So growing up, I was like obsessed with him in a different way. Like may it be street hockey, may it be basketball, especially in the ring. I was obsessed with him, because he was that first. I had a little checklist of who I wanted to get, like a little hit list, so to speak. And he was the first one on it, because he was the closest in
age. And I'm sure he knew it.
Yeah, he knew it, right? I'll never forget when I was younger. The one time we were sparring, I was finally hitting that age where I was they were starting to get competitive sparring, where he couldn't go easy on me. I'll never forget. I bet you my dad remembers it. I stuck my tongue out. That was so out of character of me, but I stuck my tongue out at him, and I'll never forget that day, because I was like, oh, you know what I mean? But I was finally doing good. I was feeling myself. He was the first one I felt good with, and it was a big moment for me internally. You know what I mean? And for some reason, that's what came out. I stuck my tongue out and put my hands behind my back, and I'm not like that. I think just the moment caught up with me, and I was happy. And then I don't think we moved after that. I think we just sat in the center and kind of scrapped it out, because I knew that was going to happen.
There's your showmanship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I knew I was in for it when I did that. I was like, oh, why'd you do that?
Well, there's so few families in all of professional sport. The Howes, of course, the Hiltons, maybe I can think of in Canadian boxing, that have this extended family going right down to dad, obviously, that knows so much about the sport. So it's great that each one of them kind of rubs off on you.
Yeah.
So let's get right into the career here. I mean, when you decide to say, okay, you had this outstanding amateur career, many lessons learned, you get in the ring. I believe in Quebec City was the first time you stepped in the ring. Can you talk about, again, because now it's for real. The lights are on. This isn't an amateur bout where it's like, okay, I lost, but here's the lesson I learned.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're building that pro record, sometimes 1 or 2 losses can turn you into the tin can to the guy that's got potential.
So the biggest
this fight here, I guess, is.
That's my pro debut.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that was in the Yvonne Michelle card with Mikhail Zuski as the main event. With the biggest difference, so when you're amateur and you're coming up, you kind of think like, oh, it can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. But it's different. You know what I mean? Like the adrenaline dump I had for my first weigh-ins with my first stare down, that was crazy. Like, I don't think anything's compared to it. Like, my body was like, I wasn't frozen under the lights or anything. Just that adrenaline dump was insane. Like, the killer mindset in the pros is definitely different. But as an amateur, you're not a part of it. So you can't really, like, you can watch it as much as you want. You can be a part of the program as much as you want, which I was blessed with my brothers and some of the other guys in the gym. I got to be a part of pro camps. But to be a part of it with the cameras on you and another man, like, it's a different hunger. Do you know what I mean? In the amateur, it's more of a country pride thing. But when you get to the pros, it's you. You know what I mean? Your family's name is called. Your everything is on you. You know what I mean? You're with a team, but you're not with a Canadian national team. You're not with in fighting the Korean national team. It's Spencer Wilcox versus so-and-so. So that first one was definitely different. That adrenaline, I'll never forget that. I don't think I'll forget that for the rest of my life. The pro debut, it's a surreal experience. Like what I was saying about doing an interview with someone like yourself, you grow up watching it, and then now it's, okay, you can't slip up. In the amateurs, you can have an off day, and even if you lose at the Olympics or trying to qualify for the Olympics, within the next 4 years, you do get a second chance. The pros, you don't. After 2-3 losses, especially if they're not to the top guys, this is a very ruthless sport inside and outside of the ring. They'll move on real quick. Your stock drops faster than the market can, especially if you have a bad loss. And so that all comes into play when you're having your pro debut. Do you know what I mean? That's in your mind. But then through my amateur experience, it just kind of, I'm very good at shutting those thoughts out. Right. And I make up little stories in my head about people. Like, I'll full-blown make up. It's crazy. Like, I'll full-blown make up lies that, like, this guy said this about me. This guy said, because some people don't like being serious. I really like being serious before a fight. I really like kind of grinding my teeth.
The motivation.
Yeah, and so I kind of had to make up full-blown lies for my debut. Like, I was telling myself, like, it was a 50-50 fight. I'm fighting this guy, that. But hey, it works because it shuts off the noise in your head. You know what I mean? You got to find your rhythm, and my rhythm is kind of making up false stories in my head that what people say about me. And because I'm lucky where I do come from a very supportive background. I got all the support I could ever need in my life. So to kind of counteract that positive upbringing, that positive support, I kind of make up these false narratives in my head about what people are saying about me. And hey, it works for me, right? It shuts out the inner thoughts.
Well, if that's what you got to do to motivate yourself, that's fine. I mean, you talked about the adrenaline. And is that something that when you're in the ring, in this situation, because as you said, you're all by yourself. Yeah. It's not a team sport. It's not like football. You got a guy on your right and your left, or hockey, you're passing to a teammate. This is all you. This adrenaline that you talk about, is it something that just becomes like almost addicting? Like,
yeah. That the walkout to a fight, nothing beats it. Like, that is like, that's got to be a drug somehow. Like, it's got to be. Like, it has to be, because when you're walking out to a fight, that's got to be the coolest feeling in the world. Like, all the eyes are on you. All the critics' eyes are on you. If you're a person who kind of likes pressure, and which I do, that's why I was saying I kind of make up those lies to myself. Some people don't like pressure. I really enjoy it. Like, and I'm not just saying that. That's why I thought this tournament was perfect for me. And I know some people were hesitant about me joining it because it's such a risk. But I really enjoy pressure, and that adrenaline comes with it, right? And so maybe that's why I like the pressure. I just perform better with it. Right. And you kind of learn how to calm down that adrenaline, so to speak. Like, that first one was my first time going through it, so I had to learn how to calm myself down, because there's no way that adrenaline I felt my pro debut. Like, I don't think I got touched or anything like that, but I was gas tired after the second round. You know what I mean? Like when the fight stopped, that's kind of like, good. I was like, but then I watched the tape and I'm like, what? Like, why would I even be tired? But that's the negative of adrenaline, right? Is it wears the body down, and it's for sure addicting. And what I look forward to the most in a fight is that walkout is my favorite, and then dinner after with everybody. And then when that adrenaline goes away, that's when all the bumps and bruises come out.
For sure.
That's when they all come out.
Well, you've obviously had a guide. Everyone requires. You talk about your team, and you need that guidance. Who are those people that are important to you that get you prepared for a fight? So obviously, the most important person getting me ready for a fight is God. I'm a Christian. That's what I believe in. My father, my mother, my sister, all my brothers, even the people at the gym in Hamilton
when I'm not here.
Steel City?
Steel Town. They're all helping me. My coach in Vegas, Eric Belanger, his wife Yvetta, I can never pronounce her name properly, so she's listening, my bad. I think it's Yvetta, who's also my nutritionist. My sponsors, I got a lot of sponsors, and I got some major sponsors that really make my camps in Vegas possible, because they all come out of pocket. So Claire's and Big Six Convenience really help with that and make it possible. I got a great team, and I got a very large team, because I think anybody that steps through the doors at the gym is basically a part of the team. And my family's a lot more a part of my team than they think. Even like my sister-in-laws, my nieces, my nephews, they push me a lot in camp. And my family members that have passed before us too, they push me a lot. So there's a lot of people I could thank. I'm very blessed where I am. I love my team, and I think I got a rare occurrence in my team, because I've seen a lot of fighters have a very bad team. And man, I could never box with that. The boxing's hard as is. So if you had a team with some people that I see they have, it would make it 80 times harder. And I don't blame any of them for moving on with their life, because you need the team. The team's, yes, I'm in the ring alone, but go watch my mom when I'm fighting. She's in that ring too. You know what I mean? I got people send me videos of when I'm fighting. I've seen it obviously with my brothers too, right? So you can't tell me that woman's not in the ring.
Well, your brothers would be a given.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Your brothers would be a given. Your dad would be a given.
Yeah.
But your mom.
She's in that ring, man. I don't know how she does it. What a strong woman. I even say, like, I don't even know when it's my time to have kids. Like, I absolutely love boxing, but it's going to be their choice too, like my father did with us, because I don't even know how they watch us. Watching my brothers, I hate it. I love watching them win, but I hate it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough thing to watch.
For sure.
I would much rather be in there. I'd rather, I absolutely loved the card. We had a card where me and 3 other of my brothers fought professionally on the same card.
Yeah, it's first time ever.
Yeah, and you know what? It was a great night, but it also sucked. You know? When that night was done, I felt like I had 10,000 pounds off my back lifted. So I can't imagine how my mom felt. Like, she must have loved that night, but at the same time, she was probably so happy when that final bell rang, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess at the end of the day, they're all proud of you, right?
Yeah.
And proud of the success that you've certainly gotten to at this point. Just looking back a little bit too, you talk about obviously all these people are influences, but on the major league stage, was there someone I don't know, a boxer out there that you kind of modeled yourself after?
So I have like favorite boxers, but obviously no one like compares to what my brothers have done for me when it comes to me watching, me studying, me, because I know I say it as a joke, but I wanted to beat them so bad that like I studied those guys when they didn't even know. They, like even when we were shadowboxing. So not only them teaching me, but me just being around that atmosphere has taught me more than any video could ever do. But when it comes to the world stage, my favorite boxer, can't really say favorite of all time, but like I have a list. Like Andre Ward is one of my favorite to learn from. Sugar Ray Leonard is the best. I can watch his fights on repeat all day. I like Sugar Shane Mosley, Vasyl Lomachenko. The modern stuff, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of, but I really enjoy like the late 90s, early 2000s, and like the 80s and 70s. I like that a lot more. So basically, I think anyone you watch from those generations, I can learn from. But those 4 guys are basically, that's probably who I've watched the most, because you got to go through your style too. Right. There's only so much I can learn from watching a Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? I'm not a 5'4" genetics specimen. You know what I mean? You got to kind of go with. I've always liked watching guys who are kind of a little bit more my style. I can learn a lot more from it and seeing how they deal with the different styles they fight. Because same thing, I'm not a Tyson Fury. I'm not 6'9", so I can watch and learn, but there's a limit to what I can do compared to what he can do, right?
Well, we've gone from 1-0. Now you're 11-0. I'm thinking to myself, you're in that super lightweight division. There is a champion out there, because that tournament was a WBC. Yeah. So when I say the words Alberto Puello,
Okay, yeah.
23-0. He's the champ. 10 knockouts. Is that the end goal? Is that, or like not the goal you're looking towards?
So right now with the position I'm in, that's a great thing about this tournament was if the position I was in before this tournament, I wouldn't really have the audacity to call out any of those top guys because I ain't earned it yet, right? And just like when you tie up your boots to go to work, when I tie up my shoes to go in the ring, there's an earned thing. And you're not just going to show up to the job site and be the foreman the first day, right? You got to earn your stripes. So this tournament will really excel my career. Like, so the person, the winner gets a guaranteed shot at the WBC silver title, which is the interim title. Yeah. So if you would ask me a year ago, I would have been like, I still got a long way to go out of respect. You know what I mean? Just not being arrogant. Do I think I can beat those top guys? Yes, 100%. But would I have said it? No. But now, come December, I'll be right knocking at the door. So do I have a name in particular? No. Anybody that's at the top is on the list. Especially when I'm at that, I don't have no names necessarily. Obviously, my dream fight would be, but he's going to retire, Vasyl Lomachenko, because I would love that. I would love to fight somebody I've idolized. But when it comes to names, I got nobody specific. If you're at the top, when I earn my stripes, anybody can get it. Like, and I mean that in the least arrogant way. Like, this is boxing. Like, I want to fight. If Mike Tyson's a super lightweight and he's and he's the top, I gotta fight him, right? And if you're afraid of anybody, you shouldn't be in it. That's my way of thinking, so to speak.
Well, I think this is fabulous. I hope this podcast opens the world. Obviously, everyone in this city knows your family, but people are getting to know you now and your potential and where you're going. I think it's outstanding that you have such a balanced attitude. Obviously, you don't become 11-0 without the skills, but just been talking to you here, your mental aspect and your mental takes are just impressive. So I hope that just continues to mature and grow and your game gets bigger. Please let us know what's going on with the tournament. We want to keep following your progress. You're at a great point of your career right now, and I hope you're enjoying it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I love where my life's at, and I'm very grateful to say that because the sad thing is I don't think a lot of people can say that. I truly love where my life's at. I'm chasing my dream, and not only is this dream like how do I say? In my eyes, it's not unattainable. You know what I mean? A lot of people can say what they want, but you know what? I'm putting in the work. I'm sparring the best guys. I'm taking my health super serious. So it's not an unattainable dream. It's not an unrealistic dream. And if people think it's unrealistic, they're just another person to prove wrong, right? I got a little list in my head of people that they don't live in my head rent-free, but when I make it, they're going to know. You know what I mean?
Receipts.
Yeah, exactly.
Receipts.
I'm very grateful where I'm at. I'm very grateful for Mauricio Sullivan and Turki Ali Sheikh for putting on this tournament because it's very rare do the prospects get a chance like this. Do you know what I mean? Like most time prospects just have to basically follow the same blueprint we've been following for 50 years now. So I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity to basically excel my career and get to this stage where I know I should be at. But you have to earn it, right? And I know you can. I know what I'm capable of, and I know I can hang with the best in this sport. So this tournament does nothing but make it more enjoyable, right? So yeah, to answer the question, I'm happy where I'm at, but I'm nowhere near satisfied. I got a lot more to do, and I got a lot more to accomplish before I can say I'm satisfied.
He's going to be the next super, in fact, maybe unified. Who knows what happens? But he's going to be a champion one day.
100%.
And when you're done being a champion, you're going to be the best civil engineer as well. So we certainly applaud you and all that you're doing. Again, as I said, let us know what's going on with your career.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us on the Sportsline Podcast.
Thank you. People like yourself also, and you guys are the ones that help us get the recognition, especially on the social media and kind of outside of the boxing world. You know what I mean? Most people who know me are probably boxing fans. So a gentleman like yourself helps us kind of get our stock into other people's market, and it's really helpful, and we need it a lot more. So I'm very grateful for you having me on the show. Thank you.
Stock's on the rise, brother.
Yeah.
Folks, that's your Sportsline podcast for the day. And as you've just seen and heard, we love talking sports, especially with locals that are just on the rise. If you do know of an athlete, team, or event to promote the Sportsline podcast, you want to hear from you. Please hit that thumbs up, like, and subscribe button. And if you have something to say, want to comment? We appreciate the comments. Makes us better. For the outstanding people that make the Sportsline podcast possible, thank you so very much. And we'll see you